What a story.
Happy Memorial Day weekend.
Well, yeah, of course. You and yours out there.
It's a good way to get into Memorial Day weekend, I will say.
Yeah. Every day with this Belichick thing.
It's literally every day.
It's every day there's something new.
We didn't even talk about the one yesterday.
Hashtag do your job. Hashtag no distractions. It's like every day there's something.
Hashtag Old Bay with my Old Bay. We didn't even talk about that one.
Old Bay with my Old Bay. No, that was the latest Jordan post yesterday.
Yeah.
So that was cute. But what I kind of enjoy about this, so that was Pablo Torre from before, right, when he was on with Dan Patrick. We have more of that today. But what's funny to me is Pablo Torre came out with all this stuff about Belichick, and then North Carolina has a statement, and they're all like, he's full of crap. And it's like, oh, yeah? Okay. Like, I'm a real journalist. I'm a real, like, investigative journalist, and he's going to just keep getting more stuff. And, like, stuff that you can't deny either. Right, like, well, he's full of garbage. Like, I don't think so.
So
he has much more.
I would be fearful if I were Bill after some of the latest updates today from Pablo Torre. Pablo Torre Finds Out is the name of his podcast. Now, he called this latest podcast, Keefe, I didn't have time to go through it. He says, please don't just play the clips online. Go through the whole thing. This is only the tip of the iceberg.
Sure, buddy.
He said, this is my Empire Strikes Back, is what he said.
Great. So maybe the greatest sequel of all time.
I'm going to have to give that a full listen over Memorial Day weekend. I've only had time to listen to some of the clips, but they are noteworthy.
Yeah.
And we're going to play them for you here on Jones and Keefe. It is a Top 5 Friday.
We got a good one.
We're going to go through the top 5 summer activities.
Because it feels like summer out.
Top 5 summer activities for me. And for you.
For me.
And, maybe for the general you out there.
Feel free to send yours in as well.
I had trouble coming up with 5 that I really genuinely like.
Do you have 5 things you like to do, let alone 5 summer things you like to do? So, yeah, that would be difficult.
I had trouble coming up with 5 real activities in the summer that I actually want to do and like, but I did. I went through it.
Yeah, I got 5 that I feel confident about.
So we'll do that at 10:45, Top 5 Friday, every Friday on Jones and Keefe. We got the Friday 4-pack at 11:30, 4-pack of questions for you. We get out of here early today.
Is that right?
Red Sox doubleheader. Pre-game coverage begins at 12:35. I believe we're sticking around with Joe Weil for a little bit of pre-game coverage here.
Let's play 2, they say.
We're going to bump the grab bag up to noon.
Good.
We got week in review, 12, 20-ish, so a little bit of a jumbled schedule there.
It's jam-packed, though. That's all you need to know.
It's as packed as it could be is what
to
it
the gills.
Here on a Getaway Friday on Memorial Day weekend. Short show. We'll get to all your thoughts. 617-779-7937. That's your phone and text number. You can interact Twitter and Instagram at Jones and Keefe. You can watch and chat twitch.tv/Boston WEEI. Always a healthy chat going on there. I haven't seen it yet, Keefe, but it's like, again with the Bill stuff.
Wow, this stuff's pretty interesting.
Oh, what is this? The View? Is that what's going on in the Twitch chat? I imagine. I
can't read it from here.
That's true.
My eyesight's not strong.
You can also watch on YouTube. I'm sure there's a healthy chat there as well. Just subscribe to WEEI. All right, let's play the first clip. Pablo Torre goes to what turns out is an Airbnb that Jordan Hudson rented out, where the famous Ring camera footage of Bill.
This is just one of the many. Like, I know Bill Belichick wrote his book about the art of winning.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's last 3 years needs to be a book as well, or at least a documentary. Maybe more eyeballs would be on, like a 30 for 30 on Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
the rise and fall of Bill Belichick.
Normally Netflix does too many episodes. I don't know that they could do enough episodes on this fall of Belichick.
This is like in a Netflix documentary, that Bill Belichick ring cam footage, where again you see it, and like most of the details in this whole story, you're like, is this real?
Yeah.
Is this happening right now?
No, you're right. Starting from the very beginning, Bill with his, boobs flopping around on the ring cam video.
Go topless, yeah.
That I guess we assumed was from Jordan's house. Turns out, no.
No.
That ring cam video, probably in the days where Bill was demanding she wear red pants at training camp so he can pick her out.
Sneaking her into the motels.
Sneaking her into the team hotel to do, I was about to say God knows what. I think we know what.
Airplane?
A lot of injecting.
Maybe a little airplane.
And so this is in those days when the ring camera footage came out. So Pablo Torre goes, I'm not a real reporter. I don't know anything. Let me go to the Airbnb. He goes to the home, Keefe. We're not going to play you any of this. But he goes to the home. He's filming himself on the same ring camera. And it turns out he gets these 2 Airbnb owners.
Right.
I would imagine the people who leaked the video way back when.
I mean, they must have had control of it, whether they put it out or somebody else put it out or how they got their hands on it.
Who had the original video? Babs on the mic, right? On social?
I think it was like a Twitter video from like a Pats fan.
I think Babs had it. So I'm guessing
Babs with a Z.
These 2 leaked it out.
Yeah.
And, well, here's how it starts with Jordan making little jokes. This is good when they first meet Jordan when she rents out an Airbnb.
As a new host, I tried to make it a point to meet people, and I couldn't meet her right when she arrived. So I came in and I'd come off the golf course, and we were just chatting about different things. And that's when she said that she wanted to know how far Danvers was. And I was like, oh, are you getting married? She's like, no, I compete in pageants. And I said, well, we're members at the golf course. You should come and play with us. My friends have clubs they can lend you.
She said she played.
Yeah, she said she played, and she also said she prefers the men's senior shaft. So I just sort of didn't really think much about that until later.
It's a good line.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
look,
a good line.
If anything, I've started
credit
to
where credit's due.
This week, I've started to like Jordan just a little bit more.
It is, credit where credit is due. So that's a good line. So that's the owners of the Airbnb. They meet Jordan. They didn't know if she was getting married or wanted to go golfing or whatever it was. They had a good little conversation there. But they talked to her.
But she prefers a specific kind of shaft.
What now?
Yeah, well,
is what she said. So if anything, I'm starting to like Jordan a little bit more.
Yeah,
after that,
maybe I think you have to at least admit she knows what she's doing.
She is. That's self-deprecating, if nothing else.
Right.
Okay, so that's just
another
funny.
side. Another side
of Jordan. Yeah. If anything else, that's just funny. I gasped when I heard some of this next stuff. We're gonna have to start and stop it.
Okay,
but this is more from the Airbnb owners. Of the famous ring camera footage of Bill flopping around, leaving what I thought was Jordan's house. Turns out, no. They were sneaking around at some Airbnb. And here's what the owners had to say.
We saw the ring video in the morning, not knowing who this was, but it was an older gentleman with a very young woman who checked in the night before. And a car parked where it said no parking was like worrisome to us that this is going to shut us down. We need to make sure that they know registered guests cannot.
She said, she's with this creepy old guy. It's either her relative or a drug dealer.
Okay, wait a minute.
Stop.
Wait a minute.
You know what I saw
the shady old guy?
Bill Belichick. Every time I see him, I go, drug dealer.
Not even close. What are you talking about? I mean, again, it's all shapes and sizes. I'm not trying to, label anybody.
Paint
I mean,
with a broad
anybody, I guess,
brush.
could.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't have been my first thought. We've all seen the ring cam footage.
If I'm Bill,
you see
I'm
an
like,
old man kind of a little delirious, kind of stepping out there topless. I'm not like, oh, he's got drugs on him. He's trying to move drugs.
Where's he hiding them? Actually, give those a lift.
There they are.
Yeah. I found the drugs.
Guy's sitting on a gold mine. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's not where I would have gone.
If anything else, I feel like Bill's kind of peacocking around now with some street cred.
A little bit.
Like, hey.
Yeah.
I kind of look like Pablo Escobar over here.
Not bad.
Okay. What else we got?
A relative or a drug dealer.
One of the two.
First thing, because of the age discrepancy. Remember, you go, must be a freaking coke dealer. And I was like, what? Come on.
Crazy.
So that was her first reaction. And then I started looking. I'm like, that does look like Belichick. And then I saw the walk and the hunch he had, because they were doing OTAs, so he had the farmer's tan going. The sun was just coming up.
What is this guy?
We were legitimately worried about her because she booked for 4 nights or something. 5 nights, and she was here that one night with him, and we didn't see her again. And we looked in the window like nobody came. Like, who books and doesn't come? It was a beautiful. The weather was beautiful. Like we never saw her once.
Yeah, there
come
were
or go.
no more ring videos of her coming and going. So when it came Saturday evening, it was time to say, hey, here are the checkout instructions.
But at first we thought she was like a dancer or an escort. I mean, I was like, she could be freaking dead.
As the week went on, we were thinking that.
Because
no judging, though, right? No judging.
It's what they thought.
Yeah, no judging on the clientele that we have at our Airbnb. We thought we had a drug dealer and an escort, though.
They're not saying the same thing, but they're talking over each other like those twins with a car accident.
A little bit,
yeah,
a little similar to that.
So that's their words, not ours.
And then we were scared, and then we were chasing them.
But they thought because they were on the ring camera footage for a day or so.
Right.
And then they weren't there. They weren't sure they were going to check out. They thought maybe
So what did they do? They rented it for the weekend, but they were there for like an hour?
Yeah, not a long time. A night maybe.
Okay.
And as it turns out, they said maybe this is being used as a drug dealer and an escort is how it looked to these two individuals.
There's a big wide range there on what they thought was going on inside that Airbnb.
It's very interesting. So Pablo Torre digging in on Bill. And I don't know, you just wonder a lot of things about this whole story. And Pablo Torre said a while ago, if you're Bill's family, there are concerns about where these ring camera footage came from or this video came from, I'd say if you're Bill's family, you feel better that it got leaked out by some Airbnb owners who leaked this thing out, as opposed to Jordan
just judging you the whole time you're there.
Jordan leaking it out. So honestly, right, violation of privacy on that front.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the whole, what are they doing? Where are they going? Why are they handling it like this? I mean, Bill's a very public guy, right? But you kind of wonder the sneaking around factor, like what's going on there.
Well, I mean, it's also, did they say what time this was or what day this was or whatever? Or not what day, what year this was?
In the clip? No.
Yeah, was it relatively new?
When did the footage first emerge? Well, because I think
one of the reasons why there's like that weird timeline thing is maybe he wasn't a single man when some of this stuff was going on.
So here's what I'm wondering. Is it right? Were they renting out random Airbnbs because he was still with Linda, who we know is pissed at Jordan?
Oh, they had a nice face-off on Nantucket.
Or, we were talking about this before the show. Billy goes, well, why aren't they at like some Four Seasons or some like nice hotel? Well, he's a pretty public guy. Like maybe he just doesn't want to be hassled.
She's not old enough to rent a hotel.
Well,
there's that car.
She's old enough to get an Airbnb. I don't even know.
Probably not.
I did look up. You have to be 18, but there are restrictions until you're 25.
Okay, so she was definitely restricted.
She was restricted.
No, for sure.
They're like, that means we get to put cameras on everything.
And so
are there cameras inside the Airbnb?
Well,
not legally.
Yeah. Well, that's not the question.
I don't know that I'm ruling anything out.
No, I know.
And so I don't know if these two are going to get in any hot water for the video being out there. I have no idea. But when it comes to the whole process, you go back and you look at, well, what was going on and what were they doing? Maybe it was nothing. Maybe Bill just said, let's get an Airbnb. We're in love. And let's go somewhere because I don't want a bunch of people who recognize me and see who I am or what else. But you wonder the whole thing with the daily updates, as you said, Keith, with incident reports from Nantucket to are they or are they not engaged, to her shutting down interviews, to her participating in Miss Maine, to Bill and his buyout. Just now, like a week away.
Yeah, is it June 6th?
I thought it was June 1st.
Oh, June 1st.
But whatever it is, it's very, very soon.
We're coming up on it.
You have to wonder how much more of this UNC can take. And you wonder what Pablo Torre says is the tip of the iceberg. You wonder what the hell else that guy has.
Well, that's the one part of this story, too, I enjoy is that they call out Pablo Torre for his reporting or whatever, and then he just double and triples down. He's
I'd be careful with that one.
Do you feel like he made up the first thing based on the lengths he's gone for all this other stuff? He's like, I'm going to start out with a lie, and then I'm going to prove a bunch of other. No. I feel like he's probably been pretty accurate with all of his reporting thus far. And this does remind me of I don't know if you ever saw the movie The Rental.
No.
It was a horror movie where, let's just say that there's a nice little place on the water, and there are cameras everywhere. Every single room, there's cameras. They see everything. Everything. Nick, you seen this? It's a horror movie.
I haven't.
Dave Franco.
I thought about Barbarian.
Is that the one?
Oh, Barbarian too, but this is a Allison Brie, Dan Stevens. It's good.
Is that the one where we had the people in studio for the charitable endeavor and we were slicing people in half?
That was a different movie. That movie I've never seen before or since.
Okay.
That was a bloodbath.
Studio 666 didn't make the list.
Studio 666.
Yeah, thank you.
That was an all-time moment on this show. We had people in. It was a charitable event.
Presenting a giant check.
I usually have movies on behind Jones. So Jones doesn't even know what movies are. But right now I'm watching Pulp Fiction. But we have different movies they're about to dance.
You should have $10,000 pyramid and given clues and see if he got it.
I should have. That's what we'll do next time.
New bit every day.
That's the movie Keith's watching behind Jones. And this movie was it started out as two lovers. And you're like, all right, that's kind of awkward enough. And then
Passionate lovers.
Thank you, Bill. And then they took out a chainsaw, and it was like, okay, this is a bad scene.
It's true. So a lot of people chastising the Airbnb owners. Fair.
It is kind of like.
Does Bill have a lawsuit on his hand? I don't know.
I don't know.
What are you allowed to release from an outdoor ring camera? I don't know.
And I'm sure they signed something. Do you think they read every?
I'm sure it's in the terms and conditions of the Airbnb.
100%.
Well,
so I don't disagree that it's not creepy.
Bill's got some time after the injectable.
But doesn't that give you pause?
He goes, hang on.
Let me read that again.
Hang on. I'm just gonna stick a needle in there real quick. Give me a legal document. Let me pour through that. And Jordan, just stay ready. Stay ready. I'll let you know.
I have 9 minutes to read this article.
They thought the syringes were for actual terrible.
Yeah, he's a drug dealer. Not really.
No, those are not drugs.
No, sir.
No.
Well, they are and they aren't. Yeah. They are and they aren't. But he was able to. I mean, I would feel a little perturbed about my privacy. So it's like, not only are they judging you and watching the tape, that's sort of maybe par for the course. But then they release the ring cam video publicly. Then they go on a podcast and just trash you.
I mean, we think who else could have possibly leaked the thing besides these two?
So they must have. But I'm saying like the next step further is like Pablo Torre being like, "Hey, do you want to come on my podcast?" And they're like, "Yeah." Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. We want to talk about
I'm
this.
sure we're going to get a lot of repeat customers going on and just bashing the people that stayed
Maybe
here.
they're out of the Airbnb game at this point. They're like, this didn't work.
Yeah, man. How come nobody wants to stay at our place? We're definitely not watching you at all times and then trashing you on a podcast after the fact.
Here's what I wonder, and this is the takeaway. Twitch chat. Who cares about this? You guys are pathetic, this and that. How much more of this can UNC take?
I mean,
like when it's
they got to be getting close. They're like, let's
day.
just get to this season, and maybe that'll be like a welcome distraction. And be like, let's get to the games, and then that way we can kind of base it off of that, and we can look the other way if the team's doing really well, and if the team isn't, well, maybe that speeds up the process of moving on, and we can blame that instead of all this other stuff.
I still think he's going to get to year one. I don't know that he's going to survive much beyond year one.
I think it's a one and done.
But I think we're on the same page.
I think that's what it is. I even before some of this, even before Pablo Torre got involved, I kind of thought it was a one and done. Just with some of the articles that have come out, some of the obviously the CBS Morning Show thing, like the way this whole thing was through the Hard Knocks, they got it, now they're out. It wasn't going great. And let's see how he does. Like, there's a lot of different, North Carolina was okay. Like, so what are their expectations? Like, do they think Bill's going to come in and win 10 games, win the ACC? Or are they just like, hey, be better than you were last year? Like, I don't know what they're expecting.
So, any chance Belichick has success at the University of North Carolina based on the start that he's off to? 617-779-7937. You guys can jump in on that all day long.